Illinois is running a race to the bottom when it comes to just how woke and leftist school curriculum can become. On February 16th, the Illinois General Assembly is set to vote on a new curriculum standard that's already been approved by the Illinois State Board of Education, called the Culturally Responsive Teaching and Learning Standards. At first glance, who wouldn't want education that's culturally responsive to the needs of the day? But when you start to pick apart this particular standard for education, you realize that it's leftism 101 and focused on indoctrination, not education. The new standard seeks to legally mandate that public school teachers in K-12 schools in Illinois must embrace and outright encourage progressive viewpoints and perspectives in their classroom. So what the heck does that mean? It means that if you're a teacher in the state of Illinois, you are legally bound to implement leftist ideology and progressive viewpoints from leftist politicians into the very curriculum of your class. You'd think that's bad enough, but we're just getting started. The new standard also seeks to enforce through law the implementation of something called action civics into K-12 classrooms in the state of Illinois. Action civics is a term that's later defined as student field trips and events, things like protests for gun control or lobbying your state representative in the legislature for progressive policies like the Green New Deal. What happens when a teacher decides that they don't want to implement this leftism into their classroom or encourage their class to attend the latest gun control protest? They are directly at risk for having their license to teach in the state of Illinois completely taken away, making it impossible for them to practice the profession that they love and positively impact the next generation of students. This decision doesn't outright surprise me, especially given that Chicago public schools have already implemented the very controversial 1619 project run by the New York Times, one of the most controversial critical race theory modules out there, into the curriculum of all of its K-12 schools. But the reality is this doesn't stop with the city of Chicago or even the state of Illinois. The most progressive advocates for fundamental education reform are attempting to take this idea from the state of Illinois and spread it across the country. What happens in the classroom, in a kindergarten, elementary, middle, or high school classroom, inevitably ends up happening on college campuses. And as we know, what happens on college campuses graduates with students into the real world, fundamentally altering our culture of what it means to be the United States of America. The radical leftist ideas that we see in the classroom ultimately end up affecting the halls of Congress, corporate boardrooms, and American cities. This has never been more true than in 2021, and it's high time individual citizens start speaking up against radical indoctrination, against critical race theory, against removing teacher licensure should they not be a progressive individual themselves. I, for one, don't wish to see this woke Illinois curriculum implemented into the state's classrooms, and I especially don't want to see this radical ideology spread across America.